Hey everybody, in this episode of Box Office Breakdown, How to Train Your Dragon soars to the top of the box office. We're going to break all that down and more next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Hey everybody, hey! Welcome to Box Office Breakdown,
Yes.
everybody. This is the show that looks back at the box office that was, and then we like to...
I was like, oh, there's nobody else for me to say this with. Prognosticate.
Oh, there you It's such a low-key
Yes,
and sedate
yeah.
one. Yes, about the box office that lie ahead, I am Frank Moran.
What's up? Kari Lane here.
And of course, making us look good and sound even better, Josh is in the booth.
Woo.
Hey, folks, how we doing?
I'm
Yay.
doing well. And usually
Good.
Amy Cassandra Martinez is with us, but she's decided to betray us
Yeah.
and is hanging out on a live stream of the Oscars, which is happening as we
Right
speak.
now.
So,
Yes.
yes. So, anyway, though, we'll still have fun without her. We don't need Amy Cassandra Martinez.
Oh, Amy.
Nah,
You've left
she's
us.
dead to us. But anyway, folks, like us on
That's
Facebook.
sarcasm, just in case anybody was wondering.
Not
There are those
sarcasm
people.
from me.
No.
No.
Oh, okay, fine.
Nope, she's done. She's done. Like us on Facebook. Give us 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give it a thumbs up for 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you can.
Just 2.
And Gary, if they're watching us, that's where we stream live. What can they do?
Yes, Frank. You all can comment down below.
Oh yes, yeah, especially about how who we should get to replace Amy because she's no longer welcome on this show now.
Aw, she's gonna be so sad.
Good.
You're
She-
like, good. You should
yeah.
miss it.
She chose all those stars instead of hanging out with just us two. Fine.
I wore gold for the Oscars night. That was my plan.
Oh, that very nice.
You know,
Look at
a little
that.
sparkle.
There you go. Yeah, I clearly did not care. So
You're
I
like,
did
nope.
Nope.
That's
I,
okay.
Yes.
That's okay.
I
Yeah.
think everybody who watches the show by now knows at this point that I am the least involved in any of that when it comes to theming your apparel for such things.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever called that often. Maybe your T-shirt can match sometimes.
True.
The topic.
Yeah, I may do that. That's as much
that's
as I
about it.
get.
Yeah. Yep.
But
okay.
folks, we're going to jump right into our top 5 this week at the box office.
Woo.
Coming in at number 1, also the subject of this week's box office bet was How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. From DreamWorks Animation, also by Universal since they now own them, made $55.5 million at the box office.
That's a good number.
That was a great number.
That's a good one.
Absolutely. And you did not get a chance to see
I
it yet, did you?
didn't. Yeah, I really wanted to. I was busy yesterday. I went to the Fate Grand Order USA Tour event, and I didn't go to their screening, but they also had a screening that day, so I did not. But I really did want to. And then we've been watching Umbrella Academy.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. Well, when it comes down to the box office bets, to get that business out of the way first, the winner is the person who's no longer welcome on this show. That's Amy Cassandra Martinez. She was right on the button with 55 million.
Nice.
There you go. I came in at second at 51. Carrie, you were third at 45. And Brie,
I'm glad it overshot it. Oh, yeah, it was
42
Brie.
million. Yes.
Oh,
So-
wait, I didn't lose then.
No, you didn't lose.
I was like, wait, I was thinking
didn't lose.
I lost, but
There
but
you
I still
go.
want to see it anyway, so.
But we'll be doing another bet at the end of the show for next week's box office bet. I'm already scared. But again, I did get a chance. We talked about it a few weeks ago, me seeing the film. The one thing, and I've also seen other people remark on this as well, on thoughts and criticisms about the movie. Very few, but I would agree with the thoughts that the supporting cast. I mean, well, they're fine, but they're also, I guess, like the whole course of these 3 films that you're seeing.
They're kind of like the ones who were the kind of the bullies,
Yeah.
and now they're a team.
But you're seeing Hiccup. He's kind of growing and evolving and
Yeah.
changing. And it feels like, our 3, or actually, no, the twins, and then the bully guy, and then Christopher Mintz-Plasse, his character as well. They pretty much should just stay the same, other than like getting a little bit of facial hair
Well,
obsession.
that tells you they're not the main characters because their arc doesn't develop.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like,
But yeah, you'd want to see some because it's been time.
Yeah.
They've gone through things.
yeah, but they pretty much just stay the same. So that, I would agree with some of the thoughts about that. It's like, it is a shame that they pretty much just stay in amber, so to speak. So, but otherwise though, well worth your time to go in and check it out.
Yay.
Coming in at number 2, Aleta, Battle Angel from Fox.
right.
Another $12 million there. 57.9% drop.
That's kind of a average-ish and a little more. I thought it might have done not as bad as that, though, because I would think the people who saw it liked it and told other people. We liked it.
Well, most of it. Yeah, most
It's
of it.
an infatuation love story. It doesn't need to be perfect.
It just needs to be interesting, though.
Oh.
It wasn't even that. But I know James Cameron says they planned it out for a trilogy when they pitched it to the studio.
Oh, yeah. No, the way it ends is, that's what I said. Of it, some people are upset with that ending, and it's like, can't you tell that this means there's supposed to be more? And it sucks if they don't make another one, but you can't fault the first one for that was the plan. You're all, huh? I was okay enough. I'm fine with where it ended. I would love more, but if that's where it is, that's where it is.
I think I'd be. I mean, nothing that is going to keep me up at night. If there never was another Aleta Battle Angel.
Please, I need more.
But certainly where it is, I mean, it does make you want to see wait, you can't just
more.
leave it at this. But then it also makes me kind of irritated. It's like, yeah, but you could have just sharpened up some of the romance subplots just to make it a better movie overall, and maybe helped increase the chances of getting that second film.
I know it's been a while since your teenage crushes and all, but come on, it's like they just, they don't have to be that check all the right boxes person.
Yeah, but it just has, like, I cared nothing about Hugo at the end of the film. I cared nothing about him. So when everything that happens to him, I'm just like, okay. Like, you see Aleta reacting to it, and I feel like you're supposed to care as much as she does.
Well, it's a good friend, too. And I'm... For some of the people who were like, "Oh, they don't like how much you bashed on the last one," but you can like a movie and still criticize it. I feel we need to have that PSA every episode. You can love a movie and still criticize it, and it's fine. It's subjective. Something like, we've talked about before too. Depending what time of life you've seen a movie at, or what's going on in your life. Like if you went through a movie and you had a pet just die, watching a movie where an animal dies would probably be way more upsetting to you than like someone who never owned a pet. So that can affect it as well.
I've never watched a movie and gotten upset by it. Like in terms of like the content that I'm watching upsets me at all. I've never had that reaction to any film.
Make you cry at least? Like
empathy? Cry and empathy, but never just like, oh, how dare they show this to me? Or
okay, no, not that kind of upset. More just to make you sad or angry. Okay. You can be angry at a story though.
I can be, especially if it's told poorly. Yes, I've had that feeling many times in a film.
I do like I had on Twitter, Ryan Turek. He commented that the trope of killing a dog in a movie is so overdone, and I'm like, I agree. Like, we don't need to see the dog die. Like, can we have some other motivation? John Wick, I'm looking at you. Spoiler, but if you haven't seen it yet, come on.
Well, what about Aleta?
I know, I was worried. I knew it was going that way. I'm like, but I'm glad they didn't show it to you.
Yeah. But
spoiler, but
well, they didn't show that. They showed part of it afterwards.
It's coming.
Just like, okay, all right.
Oh yeah, I think we're a little quiet today. Who's watching Oscars? I feel people are like, oh, box office. We'll watch that later.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's a little quiet today.
Yeah, no worries.
It's okay.
We're still gonna.
I'll watch the highlights later. I was looking at pictures on Twitter of the outfits, which made me happy.
Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I know there's the one actor that wore that like kind of like the tuxedo
gown.
dress.
Yes.
Yeah, that was gown.
Looks gorgeous.
Very cool looking. Coming to number 3, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, another $10 million.
Hanging in there.
Yeah, hanging in. Number 4, Fighting with My Family from MGM, a little over $8 million there. Yeah, so I don't know, we had somebody tweeted us that they had seen that film and enjoyed it. So I've heard some nice reviews about it. So I might be tempted to go check it out.
Looks interesting.
And then rounding out our top 5 is Isn't It Romantic from Warner Brothers and New Line, $7.5 million. I mean, I thought it was going to be What Men Want that was going to stay at the top 5.
But isn't it romantic?
But Rebel Wilson had that staying power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and thank you for the people who commented on that, which we asked about last time. We did get some chat stuff about that.
Nice. There you go.
They similar agreeing of like her, but maybe not as much as like more part of the ensemble.
Yeah, she's just not enough to Draw me in. Because it's like, if the idea that they'd say they continued the Night at the Museum.
I would watch one if she was the lead in that series because I like the concept enough. And then I would really be curious though who would be her sidekick or someone else she interacts with. You know, if it's maybe one of the characters at the museum.
Yeah.
That could, but again, it's probably more the concept that made me more excited than her.
Okay.
But yeah.
International numbers there, folks. Of course, Aleta Battle Angel, we talked about it here domestically, but it actually opened up in China this weekend as well, opening up with a $62.3 million. The figure is even higher at 64.8, excuse me, according to local reporting, though. Now, whichever way the dust settles, though, this is Fox's biggest opening of the all time in the Middle Kingdom, as well as a new February IMAX record. So, it'll be interesting because in total, Aleta got another $92.4 million across 82 markets to lift the international total to $202.7 million. And that's currently pacing 3% above Ready Player One and 64% over The Maze Runner.
I did like both of those, though. Book to movie, I like Maze Runner more than Ready Player One, if you're comparing it to the source material.
Okay.
Also, I kind of like the post-apocalyptic world of Maze Runner. I finally saw the third one not that long ago. I enjoyed the full trilogy of it all.
Is it like with the Death Cure? Or is that?
Yeah. Race for the Death Cure? Something? I don't know. I enjoyed that series as well. Ready Player One, I liked it, but I did appreciate the book more. But some of the changes they're okay with. I'm okay with the what movie they have to play is different in the book, but I understand why, because it would be a very visually boring thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Semi-rewind, but based on your Night at the Museum comment, Star Drew asked, National Treasure or Night at the Museum? Very different movies, though, but I like both. I actually really enjoyed National Treasure.
I enjoyed the first National Treasure.
Fair, yeah.
The second one.
You're like, eh.
Well, because the plot made no sense for that, because all Ed Harris had to do was just ask them directly, and they could have just solved it just like that. But
Oh,
instead,
you mean characters communicate in a movie? What?
I couldn't figure out like why they went on this whole thing when if Ed would have just said, "Hey, I need this." Oh, okay, we'll give it to you, or we'll help you do this.
Yes.
But I'm always a sucker for, like long hidden, supposedly government secrets or conspiracies, or it's like, so I was a sucker for that.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah.
Librarian, that's the other series too.
Yes.
I haven't watched the series, but I like all the movies. Like, that's a good made-for-TV movie that's before Netflix. Because even Netflix is quote-unquote a made-for-TV movie. Kinda. In the way we know them, because it's not going to theaters as much.
That's true.
But Librarian movies, oh my gosh, those are so fun.
So now, after a 58% drop here domestically this weekend, the film has grossed $263.3 million globally, and they're expecting like the worldwide finish to be about $400 million.
So it made its money, maybe?
So, well, yeah, but although in terms of getting a sequel, though, it remains a pricey break-even proposition, and they only recoup 25% of the Chinese turnstiles. So, but
the question is, if as time goes on, which we wouldn't want to wait too long for it, but would technology get better and easier, that it would be cheaper to make it?
It may. I mean, because I guess you do have, in some sense, you have some of the assets already kind of made.
Yeah. And, because 10 years ago when they first started, like maybe the technology just literally was not good enough to achieve the vision they wanted. So I don't want to wait another 10 years for it, but 5?
Really? 5? Oof. I feel like I think it'd be 3 for me.
Well, how much time would it take to make, and then all the like rendering after kind of effects? Because they could probably film it in a shorter amount of time, but like the amount of time for post.
Because the Avatar films, they are done with principal photography, right? Now it is just basically all post, trying to get everything all set.
Yeah, 3 years would be okay, but sometimes you go like, oh my gosh, that was how many years ago, and we're already here for the next season or the next movie of it.
Well, that is true when I think about it, especially with the How to Train Your Dragon series. It's been like 6 years since the last film.
I go, what?
Yeah. I was like, holy cow, I did not realize that. But I remember at the time when they would announce the dates for like even How to Train Your Dragon 3, I was like, man, 2019, that is so far away. What is going on?
And now we're here.
And now it's here. I'm like, holy cow, it has been that long? That's so sad.
Yes. You're just like, wow, that went by fast.
Speaking of How to Train Your Dragon,
Yes.
there was no big, wide Hollywood releases there internationally. So How to Train Your Dragon has been enjoying the perks of not really having a cluttered box office.
Yes.
So it got another $34.7 million there in 53 markets, bringing its total so far to $216.9 million. Internationally, with a worldwide total of $275 million. And China opens up next weekend.
Yay.
And last week, because it is Oscars, we've got the Favorite has crossed $50 million internationally. Green Book is closing in on $75 million, and Bohemian Rhapsody has risen to $648 million.
I was like, nope, didn't watch any Oscar movies. I was thinking, I'm like, no, I watched other movies. I just didn't watch Oscars or in theaters. I had meant to mention I had seen Hector and the Pursuit of Happiness finally on Netflix. Simon Pegg.
Okay.
It's pretty good. There's other weird things that you could poke at about it, but entertaining, especially if you like him. It was one of those that was sitting on the queue forever and finally like, let's watch it. Okay, get over with. On Netflix, I watched Jaga Jasus, which is a Bollywood movie. His name is Jaga, and Jasus is like detective, essentially. Because there's another movie called Bobby Jasus, and she's a detective. So I was like, wait a minute, because I was like, I didn't remember that word. It was actually really good. It's very whimsical. The thing that was kind of neat about it, I was looking forward to talking about it. Like, I have nobody else who's seen this movie with me. It's the way they did their songs was a lot more like a theatrical in terms of almost like a play, because it's very much like a chorus of people singing. Because often it's just like, if you didn't know Bollywood movies, they sing. They don't really sing, but they lip sync. Part of the thing. And some of them do the transition better in terms of like they're at a wedding or they're in a club or they're somewhere where it's not weird of like you start suddenly singing or something like that where someone would go, wait a minute. But this one, you're gonna love this plot. So he has a stutter as a little kid and he's an orphan, he's in a hospital. A man comes in and kind of tells him, well, I had this friend who they could sing and they won't stutter. And so generally when he's trying to communicate, he has to really sing if he wants to do a longer expression of himself, which sounds kind of quirky, but the way they work it into the movie, it's very entertaining. Some people are comparing it. It's kind of like a Rin Tin kind of vibe. It's, kind of Indiana Jones. They travel the world and they're trying to bring down this other plot. But I enjoyed it. And then I also watched Billy Barber. I'm very disappointed in your movie. I wanted to like this movie so much more, but I didn't. Because it's this character who, he's like an average guy in a village, and apparently he knows like the biggest mega movie star possible, and they're going to film a movie at their village, and that mega movie star is going to be there. So everyone in the village is like, so you're going to introduce us to him, right? And you're going to get all these things. And he never really shuts people down of like, stop it. I haven't seen him since I was like 10. Calm down, people. And it just becomes this whirlwind of chaos and problems. And so you're just sitting there going, I don't like the whole plot is him like suffering and not standing up for himself. And of course it gets resolved in the end enough, but the trailers, it looks so good and I like the songs, but that one I was like, ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway. But I'm glad I finally saw it, so. Anyways, if you like Bollywood movies, I'd recommend Jaga Jasus. Though the ending, I'll let you know, it just ends kind of weird. Like, it's great, and then the last, 30 seconds, it flips, and you go, what? Because it makes me think like it's a comic booky something where's part 2.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'll think of it as it exists in that world.
Yeah. Well, there might be a part 2 coming.
That's another one we'll have to wait, because it came out in 2017. So I was thinking, are there more? But not yet. Yeah.
Well, speaking of comic booky,
yes.
I wanted to talk real quick.
Yes.
About to get your temperature, Kari Lane.
Okay.
So
yes, Frank.
I love me some comic books. I love me my comic book movies as well. We have Captain Marvel coming out here.
Yes.
March 8th. March 7th, if you get a chance to go one of those early night screenings there. I am not feeling that same enthusiasm. I am sure I will like the movie. In fact, I'm sure I'll more than like it. I'm sure I will enjoy it with some kind of quibbles, I'm sure, as I feel about most Marvel movies. But overall, I enjoy them. But I'm not feeling that same sense of enthusiasm and excitement for the film as I did, say, with Black Panther. Which I'm kind of equating that. I mean, we saw a little bit of Black Panther in Civil War, so that kind of already stoked the flames a little bit.
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Captain Marvel. I've certainly read her. I mean, I know her more as Miss Marvel, and I've read her as they transitioned her from Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel. But I don't know why I'm not feeling the same sense of enthusiasm. I mean, I felt it for Wonder Woman. I was excited to see what her film would be like.
I'm glad you said that because I'm waiting for some of the comments to be like, because you're a guy.
No, it is not that. I was excited about Wonder Woman, but I'm not feeling the same sense. And I don't know if it's...
Do you think it's the actor?
I don't... No, I have nothing against Brie Larson, so that isn't anything. And I don't know if it's necessarily the marketing that it hasn't really sucked me in. Although, I mean, I feel like for me, as somebody who loves the Marvel films and knows the universe really well, you don't really need to market to me, but I don't know why it is that I'm not... and maybe it's because the character's fine in the comics, but
just a character you're not that excited about?
Yeah.
I would also add, anybody listening, he's wearing a DC t-shirt and a DC hoodie. For all the haters are like, oh, you guys only like Marvel. He's repping DC too. Just saying.
There you go. The nice deep cut Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse riff.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
I did like when they, that was very funny.
But for you, where do you stand?
Right. I don't know anything about this character really. So I have no attachment. I mean, I like Marvel movies. I also like DC movies. Probably I'm more familiar with Marvel, but I don't really know this character. Brie Larson, I don't have any sort of attachment. Like, I'm not like I love her or hate her. I think it looks exciting, and I'm trying to not get overly excited about movies just because then I feel my expectations get too high. So I'm excited. Like, I see the trailer and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm ready. It looks exciting.
Yeah.
But I'm not freaking out, you know.
Yeah, 'cause I remember just like when it was coming for Black Panther, I was just like, cannot wait. And this, I'm just like, yeah, I'm excited. I'll probably go see it on the 7th, but
Black Panther essentially also gave you a world, you know. This isn't really giving you a world that we know yet.
Not true, but I guess I guess you could trade off instead of introducing you into a world you don't know, it is taking you back to a time period in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that you really haven't seen explored in depth at all. I mean, the closest we've gotten was the first Ant-Man film, where we did that bit where they saw Michael Douglas de-aged.
Yeah.
But we haven't really seen anything else.
Amy's already seen it.
I know.
I saw her post, and I'm like, oh.
And we'll never know what she thought about it because she's never coming back on the show.
She's not here, I know.
She'll never be back on the show again.
It's one of those, I'm excited, but I don't know if I'd be like, there's not many movies lately where I have to be there first day.
Well,
It's what fits in my schedule.
I understand that. No, I completely understand that as well. I mean, and I guess it's because it is a rounding out a story. Avengers Endgame, already pumped for that. Can't wait for that. I don't know. I feel like Captain Marvel is going to play a part in that film. And I feel like, I don't know if the movie...
Should this have already come out kind of a thing?
Well, I don't know if it should call it, but it should the marketing tell you a little bit about, like, watch this film, not only just for this character, but also
to tie in.
She's going to play a big part in this game, in this next film. I don't know if the marketing should address that at all. I mean, it certainly hasn't.
I could see that. That would be a bigger draw than for some people.
I mean, I think if you don't know...
I feel like this is a sidebar.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you don't know the Marvel... I mean, everybody knows the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're all connected. So I don't know if they need to really kind of hit the nail on the head about that. It's like, I think everybody's going to gather like, all right, if we're seeing this film, it's going to play into the larger tapestry of everything. But yeah, so I don't know, folks. That was just my moment. I just wanted to see Kari Lane.
You're like,
what
I'm
you
off
thought.
my soapbox.
There was it.
Yeah, I'm excited, but I think since I don't have an attachment, I'm not oh my goodness, I'm super freaking out excited about it. I'm more just like, I'm curious. I want to take it in. I don't know this character, so.
I will say just a quick second little sidebar on this is that reading comic books, Miss Marvel, Kara Danvers, liked her in the Miss Marvel iteration, and then they graduated up to Captain Marvel, which is fine.
Which one is the Mohawk? Or is that just one of the mini versions?
Oh, that's one of the mini. And it really wasn't necessarily a Mohawk. It was more like the way her helmet would come together. It would push her hair up, so it would make it look like a mohawk.
I've seen that image of her.
Yeah. It's but I always feel like it's a character that they and some people have really appreciated her kind of getting it thrust more into the spotlight. But I always feel like the character never really landed with me when they kind of tried to elevate her. It just felt like she's kind of like a B character still at her core, and they're trying to keep making her an A character, and it doesn't feel like it's quite sticking, at least to me. People's mileage may vary on that character as well. And I know there is a very loyal fan base for this interpretation of Captain Marvel.
I think that's a good way to explain it. I don't necessarily feel that way because I'm not familiar with it enough, but that's a good way to explain your hesitancy maybe for the movie of they're taking a B character, making A character. Sure.
Yeah, it's and B characters can be great.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because I felt like that struggle in the comics where they keep constantly trying to elevate her, and I don't feel like it sticks as well. Anyway,
we shall see.
There you go, guys. That was me just being a nerd for a little bit.
Sorry, it's a safe space.
So, folks, we do have our box office
until you get
bet.
to the comments.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, box office bet.
We do have 2 films vying for your consideration, and that's going to be Greta, starring Chloe Moritz. Oh, look at that. That was our boy Josh just playing it, just kind of get us in the mood for it.
I do not remember for Greta.
I've not seen the trailer for Greta at all. In fact, when I was like, oh, interesting. But we also have Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral coming out as well.
You're so excited, aren't you?
I am so scared. I am so scared about this box office bet, I tell you.
You shouldn't have said that because now everybody's going to vote for that.
I feel like anybody who's watched the show knows how much I do not like these films. So, although it is the Oscars, I could have probably slid away with this. Who knows? But those are the 2 films that will be vying for your vote in the chat about which film we should do for our box office bet. Now, usually we do a little box office rewind, and we're going to, usually about an actor that's going to be one of these upcoming films. But at this time, we would talk about somebody who's a multi-hyphenate behind one of these films, and that is Tyler Perry himself. Just as a director, his top 5 films at the box office. For a little box office rewind, I have seen none of these.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Coming in number 5 is Tyler Perry's Medea's Witness Protection. That made $25 million when it opened back in 2012. Number 4 is Boo! A Madea Halloween. That made $28.5 back in 2016. I've only seen Boo 2, and that was terrible.
I think I had to see one of them. I don't remember which one now.
Number 3, Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married 2? Made $29.2 million back in 2010. Number 2 was Tyler Perry's Medea's Family Reunion. Made $30 million back in 2006. And then Tyler Perry's Madea Goes to Jail was number 1 back in 2009. Made $41 million.
I mean, I applaud them for making so many of these that they're still going. And clearly people still go see them.
Yeah, and this is the final film that Madea will be in.
Yeah.
Taylor Perry says that he doesn't want to get to the age where he's playing her, the age that she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he actually he filmed this movie 2 years ago.
And then why?
And he decided after Boo 2, he didn't want to just go directly to this. So he spaced it out with that Acrimony with Taraji P. Henson. And now it's coming out this one. So this has been sitting on the shelf. I mean, good old Tyler Perry just cranking these babies out. So yeah, that's.
Sorry, but Ken Jack says that Madea won weeks ago.
I don't disagree there. And there is a there's a photo out there with the marketing for this. It says, so sorry for your loss. And as soon as I saw that poster, I thought like, oh, I'm going to lose this box office bet. Such a bad omen for this.
Oh, wow.
I'm so scared about this bet. I can't tell you because I just cannot.
Well, looking back, though, the last one, Boo! A Madea Halloween, that one's 2016 that made the top 5 and only 28.
Yeah, I mean, Boo 2 did 21 and then Acrimony did 17.
Okay.
So in terms of that. So,
maybe interest is waning.
Maybe. I mean, Tyler Perry's getting up. Josh?
Sir?
Yes, I know you love movies more than anything in life.
Sure. I actually, I wanted to chime in about
Yes.
Medea's Family Reunion. I remember watching that when it first came out. Literally, my two older sisters and I, we went to go watch it because we loved Diary of a Mad Black Woman. We thought that was a great film. I mean, even with the serious undertones, having Madea as that comedic relief, like, definitely brightened up the film a lot. So we were excited to see that film. However, within those first 10 minutes, we just immediately walked out of the theater.
Yes!
It was just like, I don't know, it was just completely unbearable. We just could not stay there for it. We couldn't even
But you paid for it.
We paid for it, and they have
Did you
our
get
money.
a refund?
No, we were just like, you know what? It's not even worth it. Let's just go home.
Aw.
It was that bad. And then, seeing all these films being made years afterwards, I'm just like, you listen, it's not the greatest film in the world, it's not the greatest film franchise in the world, but it does have its demographic and its fans, and, you got to respect that.
Yes, agreed 100% of the fact that it's still making, like, money and people are still watching them. I was like, what's the earliest one? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I worked at Hollywood Video when some of the early ones came out, and Blockbuster when some of the others, tells you of time. And
man.
I remember, and it was not as lame as it sounds. There was a particular group of people renting them, just like, why are you watching this movie?
I mean, I will give it all up for Tyler Perry. I mean, he set himself with his own little franchise and his own little kingdom down in Atlanta. I mean, he's got a whole...
I mean, there's so many, and they do well. And
I mean, I'm sure the cost is low for these.
Actually, no, I take it back. That statement was for Honeymooners when they redid that one. Because that one was bad. And it was bad. The show wasn't that great. And the bad remake, because it perpetuated bad stereotypes. So I'm like, why are you supporting this film? Because it's just making bad stereotypes, and like those are the heroes. No, that was bad. There you go. That's one of the movies I saw that was just bad. Because I was frustrated because it was like the worst stereotypes.
And that is Mike Epps in there, right? Doesn't he play Norton?
Yeah.
Yes, that was Mike Epps.
Yeah. And
I mean, I only
liked.
liked.
Is it Cedric the Entertainer? No, it can't be.
Oh, I don't remember who's all in that. What's his name?
I believe it was Mike Epps and Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh!
Yeah, they're friends.
So they're
'Cause it's
friends in
all-
the movie, and then, they're definitely both in there. I'm trying to remember who the female leads were, but I just can't remember at the top of my head.
Norton?
Yeah, I'm blanking too. Star Drew says, Josh, you shouldn't get in this vote.
Oh, no, you should, Josh. You should get... Yes, absolutely. I'm bringing everybody I can down with me on this one, for sure. I've already texted Amy. Has she... even though she's watching the Oscars and she's never allowed on the show again, I am making her do this box office bet with us. Oh, she hasn't responded to me yet. How dare she? All right, so folks, before we do next week's box office bet.
Oh, Neil Hutchinson in the chat says, I look upon the Madea movies like the garbage Adam Sandler puts out. Well, some people would agree early Adam Sandler movies were good.
Yes.
And then they've not anymore. So I wonder if that's it for some. I mean, the numbers would kind of say that almost for some of the Madea. Like maybe they started out well and just.
Yeah, I felt like I saw the writing on the wall for Adam Sandler was like right around the Waterboy.
Yeah.
And then went into Little Nicky, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so folks, before we do our box office bet, we're going to do our projections of what we think next week's top 5 is going to look like at the box office. Again, with Greta, as well from Focus Features, 2,000 screens, and then Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral from Lionsgate on 2,300.
I don't feel I've heard about Greta
screens.
at all.
Yeah, I do not see that making it into the top 5. I don't think. I mean, I've seen no trailers. I don't know anything about this film.
Never heard about it. Ken Jack in the chat says 1, How to Train Your Dragon, 2, Madea Funeral, 3, Aleta, 4, Lego, and 5, Fighting with My Family.
I can't argue with that.
I think Madea will be number 2.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Do you have any difference of opinion, Kari?
No. Well, no. Stardew says Greta could get 8 million.
Yeah, a lot of things could get 8 million. I just don't think it will.
I agree with
I feel like there's so little recognition, and I've seen so little marketing in this film that I just don't think it's going to do well.
So
it may be a great film, who knows? But I just don't think it's going to.
So if How to Train Your Dragon went down by half, that's like.
Yeah, like 27.5.
Yeah.
28.
Mid to high 20s.
Yeah.
So if Madea did around
Oh, yeah,
A number.
Yeah, she's keeping her. I like it. Keeping her numbers close to yourself. But who knows?
Yeah.
We don't even know. I mean, well, I guess Ken Jack confirmed it 1 week ago.
Star Drew.
Oh,
It says, well, 5 million can still get in. That's true.
yeah. Well, we shall see. I still don't think it will. I don't think it will.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're coming to the part of the show that I'm most excited about, and that's going to be this week's box office bet. I mean, I guess we have to go with Ken Jack. He did say Tyler Perry's Madea Funeral.
For number 2.
Oh, boy. So, folks, that's the film we'll be betting on. I cannot reiterate how scared I am about this. 2,350 screens, starring Tyler Perry. Medea's last appearance in a film. Yes. I wonder, does the fact that you know it's the last time, does that make you more excited? Or do you
I think the people who like it are going to be excited. Like, if you're already watching that franchise, oh my goodness, it's the end.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
that exciting. Ken Jack says 23. Star Drew says 23.5. No picking between numbers, and we're just going to go right down the middle.
All right, so I'm just typing in our names here. I'm excited to bring Josh into this.
Yeah.
Because
Josh, you excited?
I need.
Oh, of course. I'm like planning my whole weekend around that one movie. It's just,
I need a little buffer.
Let's see. As far as just like giving it a generous amount.
Yes, hold on, not quite yet, because I haven't written down my number yet, so I don't want you to spoil my.
Yeah, don't say it yet. Well, actually, while you're writing that, hold that pause.
Yes.
Just because I
go
wanted
for
to
it.
promote. So, we talked about it on AfterBuzz Anime Reviews over on our sister channel about the USA Fate Grand Order event that I went to. Also, if you go, we'll be talking social later. I have photos and videos of that. It was super fun. If you went today, let me know if you saw anything there. It was really cool. Today was the last day, but it's also going around the U.S., so we talked about that as well. And then also, they were promoting, because it premiered Saturday as well, Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel 2 is coming to theaters March 14th via Fathom Events. So they have the cool flyer to promote that and stay, because there's post credits letting you know about the third one and also the release date for that.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun. Speaking of like how long you have to wait, because also animated films and also animated films from Japan getting over here, and if it's going to be dub or sub. And so that was also part of this weekend's anime festivities.
Give it up for Fathom Events, man. They
get some of the screens, and you know it's really fun though, because I went and saw the Sailor Moon one, where it was a short movie and then they played an episode, like a random episode. It was really fun to watch it in theaters with other people, because I never saw any of those in the theater.
I know they had a Gundam one just a week or two back, and I couldn't make that one, but I never watched any Gundam.
Are you a Gundam fan?
I am not, but I was like, I would go check it out just to see what the deal is.
I'm not a huge fan of mech anime, where, if you don't know what that is, it's like them fighting giant robots. It has to be a really good drama show, like interest in the people.
Robotech?
But the robots are not. I haven't really gotten into that one yet. There's
Robotech.
so much. There's so much.
That's true.
There.
All right.
Yes.
Carrie, do you have a number?
I do.
Josh, do you have a number? All right, so folks, if you're just joining us, and probably not, because you're probably watching the Oscars, so it's only those diehards that are here with us. But just to reiterate the rules,
we love you all.
We're all going to bet what we think the opening box office gross will be for Madea Family Funeral. The one that's closest will be able to be prognosticators, bask in that glory. The loser will have to go see this movie. Oh, please don't let it be me, and tell us all about it.
Star Drew said they liked watching Naruto in theaters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's fun when they Fathom. Thank you, Fathom Events. Yeah. Not sponsored.
All right. All right, everybody. Okay. This is a big one. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, we'll kick it off with you, sir. What is your bet for Madea Family Funeral?
So my bet would be, this is me being super generous, I'm going to say 22.5.
22.5. All right, 22.5.
Okay.
I got it. All right. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, that's Josh, 22.5. Carrie.
22.
22. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. Oh.
Neil Hutchinson says 24.5.
I went 21. Oh, no. Oh, man. man.
Oh, for those listening, I did a victory. Yes!
I don't want to see this movie, guys. Do not go see this movie, folks. Just do not.
Frank Starger said, "Yay, Frank's doomed."
Cool.
Unless it makes like 19.
That's
or
my only
something,
only saving grace. Oh,
It could
please,
go under?
please go under.
Whew.
Oh, all right. Well, I am genuinely scared for next week's box
Ken
office.
Jack writes, yes, yes, yes.
No. Oh, all right. Folks,
Woo.
just make sure you're doing something else next weekend. Whatever it is, it's going to be much better than going to see Madea Family
boy.
Funeral. Please stay away. All right, folks. That's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. Like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And thank you, everybody, for hopping in the chat. While you're there, give it a thumbs up or 2 or 3 if you're subscribing on the Facebook channel. Yeah, thank you for basking in my potential misery for Madea Family Funeral. Oh, baby. But if you want to stay in touch with any of us, even after the show's over, Kari, where can they find you?
Yes, you all can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane, and I posted a bunch of pictures from the Fate Grand Order event on there. And go watch also on AfterBuzz Anime. We're almost done with Soul Eater, and then we'll pick a new anime show to talk about. And then I don't know when it's coming out, but soon is American Gods Season 2, which I'm excited for.
Very nice. And of course, Kari, if they're watching this after we stream live, what can they do as well?
Oh, yes, you can all comment down below.
Love it, love it. And Josh, where can they find you, sir?
So the fans can find me on Instagram at JOAL92 on Instagram.
Yeah, Josh, good bet, Josh.
Where can they find
well
you,
played.
Frank?
You can find me curled up in a corner crying. Yes, and send me your well wishes there at HappyGoJackie on Twitter and Instagram. I don't want to see this film, you guys. I really don't. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be this for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. We'll be back Sunday night with, please let me hope, some good news. But until then, folks, go see some movies, except Madea Family Funeral. Do not go see that.
Go see it. Go see it.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.